Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin Khatamil Anbiya'i wal Mursaleen wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Honorable Ministers, Foreign Secretaries, Secretary General of SAARC, His Excellency Ahmad Salim, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. At the outset, let me extend a very warm welcome to the visiting foreign ministers, external affairs ministers, and distinguished delegates to the Maldives. I wish you success in your deliberations and hope you have an enjoyable stay in the sunny side of life. In 1985, President Mahmoud Abdul Gayoom and 6 other leaders of South Asia sat down in Dhaka to jot down their vision for the region. They dreamed a South Asia that thrives on peace, stability, harmony, and progress. They sought to foster a community of nations where mutual understanding and good neighborly relations prospered. They cherished the common bonds of history, culture that we share. And above all, their vision was founded on the notion that regional cooperation is mutually beneficial, desirable, and indeed necessary. Almost 30 years since on, how far have we come in this realization of this vision? SAARC has managed to hold countless meetings. It has expanded into many fields. It has also contributed to building confidence and trust among top leadership of our countries. These achievements must not, and certainly does not, however, mask our continued collective challenges. While South Asia's growth rate has averaged 6% annually over the past 20 years, and over 500 million of our people still live below poverty line. While this region is blessed with abundant natural resources, 235 million people remain without access to safe drinking water and adequate food. While South Asia may have been led by a record number of female heads of state or governments throughout its contemporary history, profound gender inequities persist across the SAARC region. While this region also boasts one of the youngest and dynamic generations, South Asia has the largest number of malnourished children in the world. All these reasons led critics to often ask the question, what has SAARC done for the region? Skeptics claim that SAARC has become obsolete and redundant, that it has reached its use-by-day date. Whether we acknowledge it or not, the South Asians have a common history and shared culture. Whether we recognize it or not, we share some same challenges together as a region. Whether we like it or not, our common problems require solutions of a collective nature. And whether we believe it or not, we have a common destiny. Regional cooperation has not outlived its purpose. SAARC is even more relevant and necessary. Honorable Ministers, if there is a magic wand to enable SAARC to achieve these goals, it is trade and commerce. Commerce unlocks the doors to each other's countries and cultivates closer ties of mutual understanding. Business transactions foster good neighborly relations through sharing of goods and values. Trade and investment derive mutual benefits and improves the collective resilience of the region. Indeed, trade is the master key to turn poverty into prosperity. While trade's potential for economic growth has been underscored by the leaders of this region for many years, the volume of trade within the region remains at an abysmal low. It is sad but true that SAARC member states often import third country goods produced in other SAARC countries. Barriers to entry and transaction costs are high. In order to enhance trade within our region, our leaders drew up a grand scheme that established the South Asian Free Trade Arrangement. However, the very own vehicle we created to lower barriers has in fact in many cases resulted in creating even more barriers. It is therefore time to unlock the huge potential that trade has to offer. The Maldives, while being the smallest economy in the region, has reduced its sensitive list from 800 to 100 items. We urge you to adopt trade in order for regional cooperation to yield fruits. Honourable Ministers, 27 months have passed since the Maldives assumed chair of SAARC. This has been a challenging time for SAARC and for Maldives as well. Despite that, we were able to steer our association and make good progress in key areas of cooperation. What is most satisfying is the emphasis given to areas of trade, commerce, and finance during these past years. It is gratifying to note that more attention has been given in consolidating the gains we have made in economic cooperation. As the chair of SAARC, the Maldives would continue with its efforts in keeping economic cooperation as a centre focus of SAARC. Honourable Ministers, our region is home to a quarter of the world's population. Yet the reality is that in global arena, we as a regional bloc hold limited power. We command limited attention and we demand limited engagement. Despite our share of global population, we carry no collective voice. It is time that we as a region stand up to demand our worth in international arena. It is time that we stand up for each other, protect each other, and fight the cause of each other. It is time that we show the world the solidarity of SAARC. When a member state is subjected to unfair treatment, its neighbours need to stand up and demand justice. It is time that member states of SAARC forge common positions on critical issues of importance to our region and to the rest of the world. Individually, we might only have limited impact or little strength, but collectively, we can move mountains. Maldives is the smallest state in the South Asia, and yet we believe that we have a disproportionate stake in ensuring the regional cooperation succeeds in the SAARC region. Honourable Ministers, the Maldives believes that SAARC requires reforming. In fact, reform has constantly featured on SAARC's agenda ever since President Gayoom's call for reform during Malé Summit of 1997. Most recently, the 17th Summit decided to initiate a comprehensive review of SAARC processes and institutions. Over the years, SAARC processes and mechanisms have become complex. Therefore, in the absence of any other regional mechanism, SAARC had to widen its area of cooperation to match the expectations of the peoples in this region. As a result, increasing activities and the strain on the resources have become obvious concerns. Faced with these realities, the SAARC Secretariat was entrusted to conduct a study, the first of its kind, intended to streamline, rationalize, restructure, and strengthen SAARC mechanisms and processes. I understand that foreign secretaries have been deliberating on the study to make recommendation of the study implementable. I wish to congratulate the SAARC Secretary General and the Secretariat for carrying out its enormous undertaking. Since this is the last meeting before Secretary General Ahmed Salim relinquishes his duties, I wish to particularly record my deep appreciation for his major contribution to strengthen the association through his dedication and assiduousness. The Maldives considered Secretariat's comprehensive study with much interest. Maldives would continue to put emphasis in deepening cooperation in the identified areas of focus, making SAARC an instrument for building regional resilience and increasing the association's international relevance. Honourable Ministers, is it not the time that the member states of SAARC give meaning to the lofty goals set out in the Charter? Is it not overdue for SAARC to return to its original idea of promoting the quality of life of people of South Asia? Should we not focus towards building our national and collective self-resilience? Let us, the member states, do whatever is possible with whatever we have to achieve these goals. because it certainly is the time for SAARC to help the people of our region in their march towards manifest destiny. Thank you, ministers. Thank you, delegates.